Alright, so for today's topic, I've picked something a little different, as my last video did pretty well in discussion, and today's topic is going to be what is the worst thing happening in the music scene as of right now. Let's talk about it. Okay, so there's a lot of factors that can be considered into this. I mean, when I talk about the music scene, I mean, just generally nowadays where there's smaller concerts with, the metalcore bands, pop punk bands, post-hardcore bands, all these tours that happen, like, look at the Warped Tour community, something like that, like these summer festivals that happen, and of course people from the ages of 12 to 30 could go to. I mean, that's usually the range. It depends on what you're into, I guess, at that age. But anyways, the thing that I wanted to talk about is what is really killing the music scene nowadays. I'm sure a lot of people could jump to say it's the bands. It depends on what bands you're looking at and what certain factors. I know, especially as of late, there's a lot of sexual assault, topics coming up. And let me see if I can remember. From Porch Step is definitely one that was a big topic. The bassist from Set It Off, he got kicked out of his band. But these are all like things that I'll link to in the bottom if you want to look at it. And it's just, they're taking advantage of people, their fans, because of, who they are, and they're in this band. Oh, I'm in a band. I can, take advantage of you. I can do what I want. Like, no, it's not right. But I will say, it's not the worst thing in the music scene. It's definitely something that can be prevented. Just don't be an asshole. Just know your place. So, and you can kind of look at it and say maybe promoters. Promoters can make or break some tours. It all depends on where you're going to. But that's not really much to talk about. You could say it's management. I mean, management can determine if a band has to change their sound or, because they're getting signed kind of thing. It depends on, like, look at All Time Low a few years ago. They got a big record contract for one album. I think it was for Dirty Work. And it was a big label change. So they had a big, sound difference kind of thing. The influence of their sound had changed a lot on that album. I didn't hate that album by any means, but it's definitely different from everything else they've ever put out. And but again, I don't think it's management, and it kind of hurts to say this, and I know I'm gonna get some flack for it and get yelled at, but the worst thing right now is the fans. You gotta understand this: a fandom can make or break a band, and this is just the 100% truth. If a band does not have followers, then there's no point. They're not going to make money. They won't sell their merch. No one will listen to their music, and it's just the way it is. Like, okay, when I say fans are the greatest thing in all of this. Okay, we as the people who listen to this music and buy the music, we are, we're the reason that these bands get to go on big tours and sell albums and go platinum, although I don't think that happens a lot nowadays. So yeah, that is the main reason. But when I say that the fans are kind of the worst thing, social media is what has destroyed pretty much a lot of great things in the music scene. I know it's kind of ironic doing a YouTube video and using social media, but let's look at Facebook, for example. Okay, so Alternative Press is a music site, or a music, how do I say this? A magazine about music. Simple what it is. If you don't know what Alternative Press magazine is, or their website, they report on music and sometimes on movies. But of course, Alternative Press is known for promoting bands and everything else. And I love Alternative Press. They're a great magazine. They always give me like topics that come out right away, and I get to learn about them. But in saying this, if they post about a band like Attila, if Attila gets posted, they immediately get shammed. You're saying you're posting about the shitty music. Stop posting garbage. Why is this shit here? Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, if you're at a certain age where you can't, if you have nothing better to say, keep it to yourself, you gotta second guess what you're doing in life. I mean, if you don't like a band, that's fine. There's lots of bands I don't really like or want to pay attention to, and I don't give them the time of day, but I don't go shaming them everywhere. I mean, you're literally just giving them publicity by doing that. It's such a dumb idea. Like, I know, like I just said, Attila is a big band that gets hated on, and I don't hate Attila. I like Attila. I've met the guys, and they were actually pretty nice when I got to meet them back in 2012. I will say I think they were all stoned, but they're still really nice nonetheless, and they took the time out for some fans, and they were playing ping pong and shit, so it was really cool. But But people hate on Franz because he's done some bad things in the past. But I mean, who hasn't? I mean, can you look at yourself and say, man, I've had such a clean slate on my life. I've never done anything bad. It's not true. Now, of course, when you're in the limelight and you're a celebrity like Franz, you're going to get like shit on for anything you do. Like, I think it was in the UK or Australia a couple months back, he flipped out and punched someone in the crowd because he was angry. Like, that was a stupid idea. Like, but of course, media blew up and just like that. For a few days, he was like the biggest enemy in the music scene. But I mean, like, if you look at what he's doing, he's in a very successful band, regardless if you want to like them or not. They put a new album at least once a year in the past 3 years, I think, which says a lot. Means their label supports them, fans are buying the albums. And yeah, like, he has his own clothing company, and he has a lot of other things, and he makes money, so that's the thing. Like, he's going to be set for life, regardless if you're hating on him or not. And I know that's just one example. I mean, there's lots that I could use. I mean, let's look at bands that are big in the music scene that tour all the time and don't get hated on. Like, if you're a fan of Touche Amore, I saw them a few years ago, and I can say there's no band I respect more than those guys. They've toured the world, I'm fairly certain. They've played small shows and big shows, festivals, and little tiny dinky clubs. Like, I saw them at a tiny dinky club. They played in front of like 50 people, and I was more than happy to be there. I wasn't even going to go, and someone convinced me to go, and I said okay, and I'm glad I did, because I fell in love with them. And you know, no one ever shits on them, and I'm sure some people probably even know who they are. Like, they don't get exposure, and it's the kind of thing about social media, right? They're not huge into social media, or they're not, you know, talked about as much on music sites like Alternative Press or Absolute Punk. But of course, Absolute Punk is a different thing, because there's so many topics on that website. So yeah, this is just an example. I think the music scene is affected so greatly in the best and the worst ways by fans. I just had to say this: if you're not a fan of a certain artist or an act, just don't listen to him. Don't pay attention to him. Leave it in the past. Just let it go. There's no need to go on their social media sites, other sites that post about them, and just call them garbage and put them in the dirt. Like, it's just, where does that get you at the end of the day? You look like a spiteful asshole. Like, this band, whoever they may be, they're gaining success and they're earning money by doing what they love, and you're like, man, fuck you, man. You're making money for what you love doing. That's a fucking asshole thing, man. It's so dumb. Like, okay, I've said it a million times. I kind of want to get your opinion on this. You can name certain bands if you want. You can talk about any artist in general. But yeah, the main question I have is, what do you think is ruining the music scene nowadays for you? For me, I say the fans, because again, this is just like so tiresome. Anytime a band or, you know, press site releases something about a band, especially over Facebook, is one of the worst. You'll see all these hateful and spiteful comments and all this anger that there's no point of. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'll have an update video maybe tomorrow. That's a different story. I just want to talk about this topic for now. You can follow me on my Facebook page. I post there every few days, and I plan on putting some more music if you want to check out some new artists up there very shortly. And also my Instagram, which is probably what I use the most, because I don't know, I like Instagram more than Facebook. So yeah, guys, that's about it. Make sure you leave a comment down below, like the video, and share it around, because this is a topic I think a lot of people can talk about. So yeah, always remember, it's music for a day, music for tomorrow, and music for life. Peace out.